There are two things that stand out about the latest Adam Sandler movie. Number one, it really makes you think twice about making a living off of gambling. And number two, this is most definitely Adam Sandler, in my estimation, his comeback movie. Check out why on our Take for Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems is directed by Benny and Josh Safdie, who also directed the great thriller Good Time. And this film stars, of course, Adam Sandler and Julia Fox, among some other lesser-known actors. This is a frenetic thrill ride from beginning to end. This movie does not let up, especially in that last 45 minutes. You're in for the thrill ride.
I felt like that was like 80% of the movie, like 85% of the movie. My blood pressure was up.
No, it just seemed to escalate as the movie went on. But you're right, it's a thrill ride from beginning to end. And this is a movie, I would say, about a man who manages to create these really dysfunctional and, messed up relationships around him.
We would use stronger language, but we're trying to keep it PG.
Yeah. With his stupidity, overall stupidity, and he just creates these barriers that puts like all these problems around him, basically.
Yeah. You could tell it's a guy who maybe started off with a little bit of luck, but then ran with it too much because of hubris, insecurities, excessive pride, all that kind of stuff, and then it snowballs, right?
Yeah, it's that type of character.
It's a chain reaction.
Yeah, where you find yourself screaming at the screen like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're making that decision again."
Yeah, stop while you're ahead.
So many flaws, right? But I think that goes to what I love about this movie, which is that it's like a contemporary film noir or like a neo-noir, because you have those deeply flawed and corrupt, characters in the movie, at the center of it. You also have that very stylized kind of like serpentine story.
Right. Which is
both the look and the story. Yeah.
Right. And it's initiated by all the lies he just keeps throwing out there to cover himself and to try to make up what he's lost. And it just, like we said, it throws the movie in all different directions, and you kind of don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. And wow. I was surprised by this movie.
Yeah, and Adam Sandler does such a good job of playing this really frustrating and unlikable character,
Yeah,
playing a gambler, basically, who, orders this stone that has these uncut gems, and opals, right? And he's trying to, sell it to gain money so that he can pay off all of these debts that he has because
he's stupid.
Because he's a gambler and a jewelry store owner.
But it's more than just gambling. Like, as you go through the movie, you see he's a bullshitter. He's desperate. He goes too much on gut feeling, which is never a good thing for gamblers.
Compromises the safety of his family.
Yes. What an idiot.
Yes, absolutely.
And one aspect of the movie that I thought really added to the emotional connection that you make with the audience is the techniques. I mean, the cinematography, the editing, the directing, which, you could kind of overlook that if you're just like zoned in to all the tension that's built up. Okay, let's not forget the directing. But everything played so well together. Like I said earlier, my blood pressure was rising. There's a lot of disorientation going on with the cinematography, which really added to that heightened tension and anxiety.
Yes, this is a movie that is constantly in motion.
Yes.
And the camera work is constantly in motion with it as well. Some really good lighting techniques to make it seem like, there are some nightclub scenes so that you can get a sense of that seedy underbelly
with the black light,
city life, really neat stuff in there. The music is memorable and very appropriate throughout.
Right, for all the different scenes to create those.
Some nice electronic and synthesizers, thrown in there to create that mood, right?
Right.
Of that tense, sweat-inducing bullet train of a movie, man, that doesn't let up.
Yeah. And it's funny because I agree with you on that, and this might sound a little paradoxical, but I kind of felt like this movie felt its length because it was 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I did feel that even though I went super fast, that I was like, man, this is stretching on as a movie. And I think it's because there were some scenes that I felt didn't really add much to the narrative, and they just went kind of long on certain things. I see what they were trying to do as far as maybe adding some characterization or adding something to the plot, but they just stretched it on a little too long. And I was like, well, they didn't need that. they didn't need that. They didn't need that.
Oh, that's interesting.
So,
I thought that all the scenes were pretty much on point, actually. And
what about the scene where that one female was walking by the nightclub, by that line of people trying to get in, and they spent so much time with her panning past the line, and they had her dialogue there?
Yeah, man, that scene was necessary in my eyes because it speaks to the relationship that Sandler and this woman have. And I don't want to give too much away, but it really adds and builds to both of their characterization, especially hers. I mean, yes, there are some scenes that might feel a little, that they drag a little.
Yeah, but the thing is on that one scene, they just went a little too long with it, and they had her even mention something to someone in the line. I was like,
it's to show you the effect that he has on her.
Oh, she's pissed off. Like,
exactly.
But we saw that in
to show you how he thrives on control of the people in his lives.
Okay, we can go on and on in circles and circles, but agree to disagree.
That's right.
So like I said earlier, this movie personally took me by surprise. In the trailer, it looked like it was a serious movie, a departure from Adam Sandler's normal roles.
That's right.
I found it, intriguing, but I didn't realize that I would be as invested in this movie as I was. I thought it was some really good writing.
Yes, it was.
And in all aspects, it was a really darn good movie. Not perfect.
A really good movie that focuses on, again, the darker side of humanity, and that's what those brothers do best. That's what Good Time is also about, which is another excellent movie that you should all check out. Go ahead, I interrupted you.
Okay, so my roll rating for this is 4.5 reels out of 5. I was thoroughly impressed with this movie.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really want to give this movie 5 reels, so I'm gonna go with my gut and give it 5 reels because. No, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I think it's one of the better movie experiences that I've had this year because I was so invested in Sandler's performance and in just the twists and turns that this story took you in. It was unexpected. This, by the way, has one of the most surprising endings in my eyes of any movie I've seen this year.
This movie was tailor-made for Adam Sandler, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is a pretty complicated role, and but you're right, it fits him perfectly because you need someone in that role who is kind of likable, has a little bit of humor, underlying humor to the character, but someone who, like you said earlier, is a bullshitter and someone who's like a hustler, always trying to deceive people, always trying to manipulate people around him, and Sandler does that so well. He sells it. Yeah, 5 movie reels for me out of 5. This is a highly tense, highly suspenseful, enjoyable flick. It's different, it's stylish.
Go watch it, guys.
Don't miss it in the theaters. Go watch it. You'll have a good time.
That's right. And if you go watch it, guys, make sure you have an Alamo Draft House in your city. If not, drive to the nearest one because that is the best place to watch movies, guys. And also, don't forget, hey, let us know what you think once you watch it. Let us know in the comments down below. Do you agree with us?
Yep.
Or do you think this movie was just out somewhere on left field?
Yeah, is this one of the best films of the year in your opinion? And don't forget to look us up on social media. We're on Facebook at Real Screeners and Instagram real.screeners. And don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell button if you enjoy our reviews. And join us next time for some more real takes on movies.
There are 2 things. There are 2 things that Number 1 is that you definitely want. It makes you. Okay, I know. Aha. So what I'm gonna do is. So what I'm gonna do is.